to come and learn. It could help them for this life and for the life to come. Encourage your friends, your associates, your workmates to log in for an hour and learn something for themselves and for their families. I also want to encourage us to pray, to continue praying that the Lord may speak to someone. Pray for the speaker, pray for Dr. Anyona Wycliffe, pray for me, and also pray for our prospects, our friends, our neighbors, those that we want to share this message with. Pray for them that they may have time to listen and learn one or two things. Now that we've had a prayer, we'll continue with career guidance. We'll continue with career guidance. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we are able to see your screen.
Good. So this is what we said last time, that career begins early in development, and we said it can change over time. A child, when they are 5 years, they may say, "Mommy, I want to be a doctor." By the time they complete primary 7, they want to be a lawyer. By the time they complete senior 4, they want to be social scientists. By the time they are finishing A-level, they want to be nurses. So career can change over time. And to us that have careers already, we can change our careers, especially if you feel you are not in the right career. Go ahead and change, like we shall see. And we had a question, and the question was, how do you handle a situation where you see your child making the wrong choice? Remember, we're talking about the role of a parent in career guidance. So the question is, how do you handle such a situation? You have a child, they're making a wrong career choice, and you don't want to be imposing, because we said we don't force career. Well, to answer this question, number one is that perhaps a parent has delayed to give this career guidance. So once you delay in guiding the child, in Luganda, there is a proverb that says, "Akacha mama mera, bokagolola kamenye kabumenyes." That what bends while it is growing. If a tree bends when it is growing, when it is developing, when you try to make it straight, you break it. So when we delay, when we take a lapse, when we take a break from guiding these children, our children, when they are still young, we shall find it hard to correct them when they are old. It will be very hard to correct them. I know we have different opinions about men making braids and hair and all that, but I want to share a personal experience. When I was young, I was a fan of soccer, and then I was a midfielder, but I admired the hairstyle of a man that was called Rio Ferdinand, because I'm a Man U supporter. And you know, one day I came to mom and I told mom, I want to be, I was holding newspapers, old newspapers in my hand, and I was reading sports, and there was this picture of Rio Ferdinand with the dreads. You guys, you know, the dreads that he had. And I told my mom, "Mom, I want to be like this man, and I want to make such a hairstyle." And she told me, the day, I remember her words, "The day you will make this hairstyle, you will cease to be my son." That sunk deep. I knew she does not want me to go in that direction. And I lost interest. I am not saying it is a bad, but I'm saying we may have different views. So when you guide the child when they are still young, there are chances they will not make a wrong choice. But when you delay and wait later after them making several mistakes and their own exposures, it will be difficult to correct them. You will impose on them. They may satisfy you and do what you want, but sooner or later, once they have their own autonomy, once they have their own independence, they will take their own direction. So even it comes also to other lifestyle, taking drugs and so many other things, dress code. We begin when we are still young. And the Bible tells us that train up a child in the way that they're supposed to grow, that when they are old, they shall not depart from that way. So we begin early. We begin early. And once we begin early, we shall prevent some of the wrong career choices they will make. What is the individual role? What is your role as a youth, as a primary 7 child, as a secondary pupil, as someone who is in advanced level, someone who has finished studies? What is your role? Number one, know yourself and your potential. When you want to understand your career, when you want to develop your career, when you want to decide which one is my career, the first thing you need to know yourself, your potential. Identify your strength. Are you good in arts? Are you good in science? Identify your strength. Do you have a special talent? Are you good at music? Are you good at soccer? Are you good at instruments? Get to know your strength. What is your strength? Are you good at acting? Are you good at speaking? Identify your strength deep in you. What is your strength? Identify your values, because there are so many careers, but your values will define where you fit best. For example, if you are a Seventh Adventist, one of the values that you have is to be obedient to the law of God. And in the law of God is the 4th commandment, which reminds us to worship the Creator by keeping the Sabbath day holy. So because it's a value that you hold and cling to, you will avoid certain careers that will always put you at a conflicting loyalty, choosing between worship and disobedience. Know your values. You don't deal with alcohol. That means your career should be in that line. You don't associate with alcoholic beverages, even when they are sponsors, even when they want you to make certain promotions. Perhaps you are good, you're a marketing manager. You cannot market an alcohol farm. Why? Because it is against your personal values. What are your interests? People enjoy working in different positions, even when their pay is low, simply because they are enjoying the job. It's their passion. It's their passion. They enjoy being teachers. They can even teach for free. They enjoy being doctors. They can see patients 24/7 without resting and not complaining. People are complaining. Even those that are earning a lot of money are complaining simply because they are in a career where they had no interest. They were forced. Or maybe things played out and they found themselves in such a career. What are your ambitions? What do you want to do? So ask yourself, what is important to me? What is important to me? What do I want from my career? Am I looking for money? Am I looking to serve people? Am I looking for fame and a name and being a celebrity? What am I looking from my career? Am I looking to develop myself? Do I want to contribute to something? Do I want to add value? Because adding value and wanting to be a celebrity will automatically put you into different lines of career. We have seen engineers who, after completing their course in engineering, they choose not to practice engineering. They become comedians because they want to be celebrities. They want to be actors. We've seen that, and they're okay in that career. They're okay in that career. What am I good at? We've talked about the strength and skills. Do a SWOT analysis. Sit down and reflect on your life. What am I good at? Am I good in sciences? Perhaps I will take a science course. Am I good in arts? perhaps I'll take an arts course, and I focus my energy on that which I am good at. Ask yourself, what are my fears? What are my fears? You could be someone who is good in science, good in physics, good in mathematics, but you are afraid of heights. You fear heights. Definitely, you may want to become an engineer, but you may choose an engineering profession where you will not be exposed to heights. But even when you choose, let's say you become a civil engineer, or let's say you become an electrical engineer, you can still choose a part of that field where you will not be exposed to heights. Why? Because it's a fear you have. What are my weaknesses? Perhaps I'm not good financially, so definitely courses that are very expensive, unless you have a scholarship, you may have to avoid them. You could have limitations. Perhaps you have some physical impairment, maybe you don't see clearly, or you have some impairments that maybe you are allergic to some things and you can't do certain jobs because of your own limitations. So ask yourself, what are my limitations? There are people who are slow at doing things, who are slow at writing, who are slow. So you understand me, I can't do a job that requires writing. There are people who have joint diseases, arthritis, especially rheumatoid for hands, and they feel they can't do jobs that need fine skills, especially hand skills. So you need to know your limitation. You have a short memory, you have memory problems, you need to know jobs that will require you to have a good memory. You may need to leave them, or find ways how you can adapt, perhaps recording and other mechanisms. So you need to know your own fears, weakness, and limitation. What are your values? You've talked about it. What motivates me? What motivates me? Is it the club of people? Is it the idols I see, the role models? What motivates me? Is it am I motivated by scripture? What motivates me to do what I want to do? What drives me every day? What will drive me even tomorrow? What will drive me in the future to remain in that profession? Ask yourself, what are my strongest subjects? Ask yourself, what kind of lifestyle do I want? Certain careers will have to put you in a given lifestyle. A career of a pastor will put you in a lifestyle where you have to be in the shoes of God, or in the shoes of Christ. Basically, you have to be a model, because so many young people, so many old people are looking to you as a representative of Christ. So, and that means you have the way you dress, the way you talk, the places you are bored, some places you can't go. Why? Because you're a teacher. In the lifestyle of a doctor will demand you to give your personal time. There is no personal time. When you're a doctor, anytime you on call, there's an emergency, you have to run and save life. Some jobs involve moving here and there. You are working, you want to be a tour guide. Definitely you'll be moving from here to there, from here to there. So you need to know, what is my lifestyle? Am I into moving here and there, or I'm this person who wants to be stationed in one place and do something? Ask yourself, am I this person who wants to be in showbiz, a celebrity? I want to be this musician. What do you want to be? What kind of lifestyle do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as someone who wants to provide service, humanitarian service? You want to be a teacher, you want to work in army, police, and other, government agencies, you want to work with Red Cross. What do you feel? What do you feel? What lifestyle do you want to have? What do you want? So having known your potential and having discovered yourself, that will guide you. That will guide you. It will help you eliminate some of the career paths, and it will help you narrow down to some of the career options that may fit your potential, your strength, and weaknesses. Number two, You need to know whether that job or that career that you are thinking about will be able to satisfy you. Because job satisfaction comes from finding work that is both challenging and rewarding. People want to do things that will challenge them. People want to do things that reward them. And you need to ask yourself, does this career, will I find some challenge? Will I, if I overcome these challenges, will I be rewarded? Because also being there and you have no challenges, you don't develop, you don't grow in a career. So it is very important for you to know what you want, but it's also very important for you to know what you don't want, because knowing what you don't want is equally as important as knowing what you want. A job that meets your career values and goals will have more meaning for you. Why? You will have no complainings, you will not have this dissatisfaction, because it is in line with your values, it is in line with your goals. You wanted to serve humans, now you are working with an NGO, you will be okay because you are a social worker and now you are giving a service to people. But the problem is you wanted to be a musician and you find yourself, you a doctor. You will not have that satisfaction. You find yourself not okay. Even when you have the knowledge to practice medicine, you will not feel yourself at ease and comfortable to perform and also deliver well in your career. And so, according to Albert defines success. Albert says, success is not the key to happiness. But happiness is the key to success. You know, we've been told success is the key to happiness, that once you are successful, you'll be happy. But for him, he's saying, no, you have to be happy for you to be successful. He says, if you love what you are doing, you will be successful. There is a verse in the book of 1 John chapter must be chapter 2 verse 18, where you can interpret it in so many very ways, but the writer John says, there is no fear in love, for perfect love casts out all fear. So where there is love, there is no fear. If you love something, you will enjoy it. You'll overcome all the fears and all the things that are attached onto it, because you love something. That's why when we shall be discussing courtship and dating, when someone loves someone, even when they tell them that someone is a night dancer, that someone does this, they will not listen. Why? Because there is no fear in love. So they follow and love.
Have we lost Pastor, or it's on me?
Pastor, we seem to have lost you. Your audio is not with us anymore. Yeah, I see he's muted himself. I think he has a challenge. Let's give him a moment to resolve it.
Sorry, colleagues, I'm at Ugema and we're having a load shed, and that's why I've been off. But I think you can hear me. Do you?
Yes, we can.
Yes, Pastor, okay.
We can
Okay.
hear you.
Okay. I hope my senior pastor, Dr. Wycliffe, will not be affected by the load shed. But we're about to finish. this, and then we go to the main piece of our food today. I was saying that if you love something, if you love what you are doing, you will be successful. So you need to look for a job, a career that will give you satisfaction, where you will be without moving here and there, where you will feel like you are enjoying what you are doing. So again, okay. So when you want to discover about job satisfaction, you need to think about what motivates you. Is it about helping others? Do you like working with children? So if you like working with children, you're more likely to be a teacher in ECD. You're more likely to work in children organization. You're more likely to become a pediatrician. You're more likely to go into those children careers. If you like current affairs, you're more likely to be a politician. You're more likely to be a journalist. You're more likely to be something else. If what motivates you is being creative, you're more likely to be an industrial artist. You're more likely to be someone who is into printing and publishing and graphics, into interior designing and architecture professions, things that have that kind of imaginative creativity. If what motivates you is being practical, you may likely to be a farmer, you may likely to be an engineer, or to be something that deals with practical things. Do you want traveling? You may likely to be a tour guide. You want to have a status, you may become a politician, you may become a doctor, because some doctors want to be doctors to have a status. You may be a celebrity, a musician, or something else. If what motivates you is to make money, then you have to look for professions that are after money. Either you be a businessman, you be a farmer, or something that will bring money to you, as long as you do it according to the will of God. What motivates you? Is it working with animals? You'll be a vet, a doctor, you'll be into the animal husbandry industry, you will be someone who works into dairy production and so on, poultry and so on. Do you want to, are you interested in seeing results? You're more likely to be as an executive somewhere, you're more likely to be a manager in a given facility. Do you want to make valuable contribution to society? Again, you may be a politician, you may be a social worker, you may be a civil servant or a public servant. Do you enjoy using your hand skills? You may be into craft business, you may be into hand skills businesses, depending on where your talent is and where you'll find satisfaction. I know I have, time is up. Let's just use 1 minute for this. Number 3, number 1, we said know yourself. Number 2, we are saying try to ask yourself, will I find satisfaction in this career? Number 3, listen to your inner man. Some careers have a calling. To be a pastor, you need to have a calling. To be a teacher, you need a special calling. To be a doctor, you need a special calling. Some careers need a calling, but even other careers that we don't see as though they need a calling, they actually need a calling. And how do you see? You will see someone doing that career and they are enjoying it. They are so passionate about it. They are giving in. They are putting in their energy. They are so proud and happy, even when their earning is not that big. So explore career ideas and options. What type of career do you want to do? Is it a talent-based career? Maybe you want to play an instrument, you want to be an organist, you want to be a musician. Is it a humanitarian, job? Do you want to work in NGOs? Do you want to work in people-based organizations? Are you into business, selling goods, selling spares, selling this, selling this? Are you into a service-oriented job like being a teacher, offering a service, being a consultant in a given field, offering services? And then a status. What type of status do you want? Do you want to employ yourself? Because employing yourself will also affect which career path you will take. Do you hope to be in a family business? Definitely that will dictate. If you have a business as a family and your father and mother told you, son, daughter, our hopes is in you. This thing, we built it for you. We were waiting for you to grow. Even when you will be studying, they will be directing you. We have put up a family clinic. We want you to be a doctor or a nurse. Definitely, you will be forced to be in that career. Why? Because they have prepared something for you already. Or do you want to be an employee? You want someone to be your boss. And there are advantages. Advantages of running your own business: you are in control. You control your profits and income. You are the boss. You decide when you want to work and when you don't want to work. You decide to eat the capital or to invest the capital. You, of course, you will earn respect in society, in church. You a CEO, they will be calling you here and there. You earn that respect that you are a business owner. It can provide you a source of income, and especially when it is hard to find jobs. So when you're your own boss, while others have walked kilometers and kilometers, miles and miles and square miles for you, you will be enjoying the fruits of your labor. You learn self-reliance and problem-solving skills, but the disadvantage are, and that's where I want to end, the disadvantage are, they're a bit weak. It doesn't stop you from running your own business, especially if you've got the skills and that's the career. That's what you feel. I want to manage my own enterprise. This should not discourage you. You are the final decision maker. What does that mean? That means if there is any profit, you enjoy. If there are any losses, you suffer alone. You suffer those losses. You also need to have some capital, some seed capital to start up something serious, depending on which business you want to start. Later, we shall have plans of discussing business development and management later in a different session. But for this session, you can, if you have means of getting capital, maybe from a bank loan or from friends or from parents, you can start up something, or from your own saving, you can start up something. It takes some hard work to make that business successful. It takes some commitment, but you can overcome this once you believe this is your career. Once you believe employing yourself is in your career path, definitely all these disadvantages will just simply grow dim. I want to stop here. If you have a question, you put it in the chat. We'll capture it. So next time when we come, we shall see other things we do as an individual to discover our own careers. And later we shall see the different career options that are open to the young, to those that are old, and to those that want to change careers. We shall give you some advice that is based on studies. May God bless you. Thank you for attending. And if you have any question, again, put into the chat. Encourage so many people to come and learn, because we have so much for you. May God bless you.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Pastor Namgera, for challenging us with these thoughts that you have shared. I think they're important for people who are making career decisions early, as well as those that considering career decisions after some time of being in their careers, as well as those that need to assist others to make decisions. So I pray that the seed that you're planting may grow and turn out to be a big tree. I reiterate that point, that if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. If you have questions that are of a direct nature, you may inbox Pastor Namgera directly. You may also WhatsApp him or call him on the number that has been provided in the chat. We are going to transition now. We're going to pivot and go to Pastor Wycliffe Anyona, who is going to be leading us and presenting the spiritual message for this evening. I saw Pastor Anyona a bit earlier. I don't seem to see him. Pastor, are you on? Am I missing you? Okay, I think Pastor dropped off a little. He probably suffered that same power outage that Bugema is suffering. All right. Let's give him a moment to organize his logistics, and then I'm sure he'll be back. So in the interim, a question to consider already in the chat. It may not necessarily be answered right now, but maybe Wednesday next week. Emmanuel Walker, you may have to come back and listen to the answer to your question. The question is katife abayiribi tugwawa is okuyiriba, a carrier. Where do bayiribi fall? What are the implications of that approach to life? That question will be tackled next Wednesday when we are tackling career decisions. Let me reach out to Pastor Wycliffe and see what's going on.